is definitely issues of crime intelligence, that only people that supposed to have a knowledge about crime intelligence policies and the likes should be part of this presentation. And the following message that he sent me 2 minutes later, he then says, I hope you understand.
Before you go on, General, did you get to know whether there had indeed been such a presentation?
I did confirm with the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence, and it did confirm that there was a presentation that was made a day before this screenshot was sent. So, and he confirmed that Mkhwanazi was not in that meeting. The people that were in the meeting, it's a minister and some of the minister's staff and the only management of crime intelligence. Only the senior management of crime intelligence that were in that meeting. So it is one of the people that was in that meeting that took the screenshot and sent it, of course, to Mkhwanazi. Hence he forwarded this thing to me. And his last message was, I hope you understand, will revert confidentially is key here. That was his word. I hope you understand, will revert confidentiality is key here. So hence I say, commissioners, that this meant one of the two things, that either Mkhwanazi was part of the meeting or a senior person, either from the police or from the ministry that was in that meeting, shared this meeting with this Mkhwanazi. And that was a concern for me, because a person who's not a police officer, even worse, a person who's not working at crime intelligence, will sit in such a meeting and be able to take copies of presentations. And, or alternatively, someone from... No, you are safe, Commissioners.
Apologies, Chair.
As technology, it happens.
We were trying to get this shot on the screen because we're not so sure if it is legible in your copy. And that is how.
We're not so sure whether it's as legible in your copies that is how it reads. And now
Thank you. General, maybe you will get to this. If you will, then you don't have to answer now. But do you have any idea why Mr. Mkhwanazi would have wanted to warn you that there was an attempt to discredit you?
Commissioner, I had no idea at the time. But as the time progresses, as I was asking myself these questions, it became clear what could be the motive for it, which I'll explain it later, what made me think that could be the reason why he made contact with me.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Please
sir.
Continue.
So then I had an opportunity to respond to him on the issue of the defeating case. As you'll see there on 316 at the bottom of the page, and it continues on 317, and I was basically explaining to him of what actually transpired at correctional services that resulted in the copy of that occurrence book, because it was my advice to the police officer, senior officer in charge of the operation, on how to handle that incident that had occurred at crime intelligence, while making sure that the ends of justice are realized, the proper investigation is done, and we don't attract an illegal litigation against the organization by arresting the wrong person. So that was my guidance to him, and I explained to Mr. Mkhwanazi. So as I'm not going to bore you by reading everything, but it is safe to indicate that an officer from correctional facility, although the media captured it wrong and they said it was Westfield, it was not Westfield. It was a correctional facility called Karagabusha at Impangeni, where the acting head of the facility was accused of selling drugs, and was accused of being in possession of ammunition. I must say that what made me to intervene is because that incident, or the drugs and the ammunition that was not found in her possession, but was found outside the house where she was staying, which is a state house, which is within the state facility. So, but I will explain it more in details later. That's what made me ask questions and say, but you can't detain a person if you have not confirmed that this belongs to this person. It's like stopping a car driving, and there are 2 or 3 occupants in the vehicle, or a taxi or whatever. You see a firearm inside and you arrest the driver. First, you have to investigate, to touch DNA, confirm who probably might have touched this firearm. Then you can be able to confirm who does it belong to before you can arrest a person. It does not automatically means that what you find in the area will belong to a person that resides in that facility. It could be anyone else that you've placed it.
The explanation that you gave, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, is quite long, spanning more than a page, as reflected in the annexures. Can you explain why you felt obliged to give Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi an explanation at all? Why do you owe him an explanation?
Commissioner, since when I established this man is close to the minister, and then he gives me this thing, so which means there is someone somewhere that is planning something. It could be maybe the minister is under impression that I'm involved in the wrong, knowing for a fact that the minister stays few kilometers away from the police station and that prison. That's where his residence is. So I felt, let me provide this information because this person is close to the minister, and he had said he's with the minister at Lusigisigi, of which when I checked with the Chief of Staff said the minister is indeed at Lusigisigi, but he did not say anything about Mkhwanazi. I tried to investigate to establish whether I was indeed with the minister at Lusigisigi or not. But I felt that let me provide a little bit more explanation to him so that the minister can have a picture. If indeed he was sent by the minister to communicate this to me, let him have a picture of what is going on in that place. I can summarize maybe some of the things that are sitting in this text. That I had said when I started 2 days ago, that according to the Constitution and the law, I have a responsibility of managing the police in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So it is expected of me and the men and women that are working in that province to make sure that we discharge our duties according to what the Constitution and the law is expecting from us. And therefore, it happened at one stage that there is a company in KZN that is called Richards Bay Minerals. It's a big company that does sand mining. There were incidents that had happened in that facility, in that company, that led into murders of some of the executives. And when it happened, there was a meeting that took place, which I attended together with the Premier at the time. And the Minister of Minerals and Energy, Minister Gwede Matashe, was in attendance in that meeting. So he actually convened the meeting. He wanted to engage with the communities because quite a lot of mining companies that are situated in Richards Bay. So during the presentation and then meeting, it came out that there are cases from RPM that involve executives in RPM that has not been solved. And the business people were sharing their frustration to the minister about the lack of police, efficiency in dealing with the investigations of those cases there. I then, because I was present as a provincial commissioner, I had to take responsibility for that. I didn't need to have a minister telling me that Jerome Mkhwanazi do something about this. I was present, and the minister is listening, and it took us with the Premier is present. So I took it upon myself to make sure that I prioritize the investigation of these cases. I then went back to the office. I deployed the team. This was 2021. I deployed the team to Richards Bay. And the team is made out of detectives and the tactical team that must protect the detectives because the complaint seems to was around the tenders, business forums and all those things that are happening in the area. So I had to put the detectives together and have this team that is going to protect these detectives. So I paid out of the budget that was not budgeted for. If you recall, Commissioner, we spoke about teams that we can deploy ourselves as provincial commissioners. So I took it from the operational budget of KZN without telling the national commissioner, so I sent a team there. I accommodated them in the area there at Richards Bay, so I had to pay subsistence allowances and everything else. Theirs was to investigate those dockets. We were about roughly 5 or so case dockets. They stayed in Richards Bay for the whole 12 months. In that period, they couldn't crack that case, those cases. And they were only assigned for that. They could not get us results. So on quarterly basis, I'm getting reports. They are doing a lot of successes. There's a lot of arrests and cases going to court, convictions, but it's not about these, which their mission is. Go and deal with these dockets and finalize them. So they're not resolving any of those dockets. Although I must say, commissioners, that they did arrest one person who was linked with the matter of the executive of RPM. They arrested the person, he was taken to court, and he applied for bail. The modus operandi, as we know, that when the criminal or hitman is involved, someone is going to pay the lawyers to defend, to make sure this person goes out on bail. Which I think some of the weaknesses in our system, that we don't ask questions, that you are unemployed, but you are affording a very expensive senior counsel to represent you on a bail matter. We opposed bail, and that person was released. As soon as he left our facilities, they killed him. And he was a link to take us higher the rank as to who would have sent him. But they killed him. So that case almost did not go far. But majority of the cases that the team ended up achieving were cases of theft and the likes that were happening within RPM. So what will then happen is RPM, if there's a loss of something, that the theft of something, they go to a police station, they go with these detectives. When they arrive at the police station, open a case of theft, the detective will take this docket and investigate it and arrest, convict. Another theft comes in. So they end up having successes of RPM that's got nothing to do with what they are sent there for. So they became like a police unit for RPM. So as I was monitoring this, and I said to them, your mission was simple. Deal with a few cases, crack them, and then come back. But you are showing me successes of something that unrelated to what you were sent there for. So I cannot be spending money to have you there. Come back with those dockets. You will work from Durban. Durban and Richards Bay, it's an hour-and-a-half drive. So they could investigate while in Durban. So I brought them back. Little did I know, Commissioner, that this RPM has got contacts in a high level of our country, because what followed after that was a call that I received from my boss, the National Commissioner, who said to me, but I hear that you had deployed people in Richards Bay and you withdrew them. I said, yes, I deployed them there for a mission. They didn't achieve the mission. A year later, I brought them back, and they are still carrying those investigations, but from my office. Then he said, no, I received a complaint from the presidency. You must send these people back there. So I said, okay, well, I don't mind to send them back, but you must give me the budget, because I don't have money to send people back there. Then he said, no, put up a plan. I'm going to finance it. Then they said, okay, that's fine. And I told my deputy to prepare a plan. Now my approach, commissioners, was that I'm no longer going to be sending people, these 5 members, to investigate the 5 cases from RPM. I'm now going to put a bigger team that is going to deploy in this area and service other business people as well as a community in that area.